Well, I would definitely say our guys responded after the first 5 possessions. Our crowd was able to come in and show up and definitely made a difference in our game. But what Pacific was trying to do was basically play a man-to-man compacted in the paint, and it gave us some problems early on. It's a defensive system that we hadn't seen in a while, but I thought once we were able to get some subs in, meaning shooting percentages out on the court from Grill to even Marquez, those guys were able to change the game. So my hat's off to a good Pacific team. They'll win some games. Definitely respect their coach, but I thought our crowd definitely showed up, and I'm very excited about the assist to turnover ratio. I think we had 14 straight assists without a turnover. Ended up with 6, so that's the part of the game that I'm excited about.
All right, questions?
Coach, you talked about going to those subs early. When you went to Caleb 17 minutes and with 17 minutes remaining in the first half, he ended up playing 27 minutes straight. At what point did you know that he had the hot hand tonight and you were going to stick with him on the court?
Well, I looked over to the left. Josh reminded me, and he said, "Coach, Grill," and I saw steam coming out of his nose, his ears, and he was just waiting for his number to be called. And I thought his teammates was able to find him defensively. He gave us a spark that we needed. And obviously with the decision to play majority of zone, it took a Pacific team and stagnated their offense, and we were able to get some rebounds, and Josh was a major part of that internally, being able to hold it down and get some rebounds. So.
This question is for all of you. Like, what was going through your mind on your 3-pointer there? Like, what went into that, and like, what were
his
each of your
first
reactions?
career 3-pointer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Say this without smiling. Go.
Okay. All right. Well, I always told my team coach, I was a good shooter at heart. And they were playing, they were sagging off a couple of times, and I felt like I owed it, to myself, to my team. When I got the ball a couple of times on the perimeter, just to look at the rim, instead of playing a 5-on-4 offense, kind of seemed like. So the first time he left me open, I just decided to do the handoff with Grill, got him a 3. And then the very next possession, or the possession after that, left me open again, top of the key. And then I was also a little winded at that point as well. So I just took it, helped my follow through and win it.
What you got to say about that, Grill?
You'd be surprised. He hits a lot of threes in practice, and the ability he had this opportunity to shoot it, and it may be a surprise to many people out there, but when he shot it, I didn't even think about crashing, because that's like his spot, right? Top of the key, no one on him. So I was glad he got that opportunity, and I think it gives us a dynamic on our team that you can't sag off on Josh, and I think it's a big piece going later throughout the season. Like, it'll be big that they can't just sag off like he was talking about earlier.
I think from the standpoint of being a head coach, you love to see your players smile, have fun, take risk. It's one of those things where he would have never looked at me if he had have missed it, but he's been doing it in practice. So that's the only reason he had the courage to do it in the game, because he does take those risks in practice. He didn't do one thing that he has not done the last 6 months, and the celebration was the only thing he hadn't done yet. And great job, Josh. Congratulations again on your first career 3.
Thank you, Coach.
All right.
Josh, just curious, do you remember the last time you even took a 3 and took a shot from 3 in a game?
It had to be like 2 seasons ago. Yeah, we were down by like 1 point versus like Arkansas. The play was not drawn for me, but I winded up getting open at half court. I took one dribble and I shot it. Yeah, I missed.
But yeah. Caleb, I know you've had nights like this. You had one just a couple games ago, but have you had a kind of a period where you've been able to carry it through 3 games shooting like this?
Yeah, I feel like before, like when I was playing my best, right before my back injury at Iowa State, I felt like I had a couple good stretches of games right there. But now I feel like I'm hitting that groove, feeling real good with my body, and just want to carry it throughout the whole season.
What's it feel like right now when you go up?
Just the confidence piece, every time I shoot, I think it's going in, and when I miss it, honestly, it's more like surprising to me. But I know, like, I just got to continue to take good shots and not take rush shots, and take what's best for the team and what's best for our offense throughout throughout the game, and get those opportunities. Not take forced shots, and just continuing to play the right way.
For Caleb and Josh, what kind of adjustments happened on the defensive side of the ball in the second half where you all were able to kind of lower that field goal percentage for Pacific?
Well, we realized our zone was working. So coming out of the second half, we decided to go back to it, and I feel like we just kept it, more tight. We tried to get it out the middle a little bit more, and once the ball was swung, we were high hands, and we were definitely blocking out. It was a team effort on the defensive glass. So that's why I feel like we were preventing the inside drives, making them shoot a lot of shots.
Yeah, I felt like in the first half they were shooting some shots we wanted them to shoot. They were shooting 10-foot fadeaways, mid-range shots, and those are shots we're okay with giving up. And throughout the course of a game, if they're going to continue to make those shots, hats off to them, because that's the shot we want them to shoot. I think I'm pretty sure, like, go back and watch the game, but I'm pretty sure they made a few of those mid-range shots in the first half. But, just our consistent effort in taking away the rim and taking away shots, I think that just carried over into the second half. And when the ball came off, I thought we did a really good job of rebounding. And, yeah, I think how many offensive rebounds they end up with? 11, but, we got to do a better job with that. But other than that, I thought we did a good job defensively.
Caleb, has your mindset changed at all coming off of the bench?
I've been more focused on the defensive end and just playing the right way, not really trying to focus on my offense. I think I can provide energy off the bench and provide a spark off the bench, and that's what I'm really trying to do is, cause disruption on defense, and then, get rebounds and do what it takes to do on defense so we can get easier opportunities as a unit on offense. And then just how the game goes, sometimes you get open shots, some nights you don't. And, tonight I happened to be open, and my teammates made the right plays and the right pass, and, I credit to them making the right play, and I just happened to be in the right spot at the right time tonight.
And Coach, you kind of talked about fast break. How do you feel like your team did in transition and turning defense into offense tonight?
I thought once we were able to get stops, our guys played a level of unselfishness that resembles what we've been working on since they arrived in June. We want to be able to press the pace, but also play at a smart level and make sure we're playing within our skills and talents. If it's a shooter, we want them to shoot the ball. If there's a driver, we want them to attack. If there's a post guy down there sealing, we want the ball inside. I think that gives us a dynamic that allows us to play versatile. The other part of it is understanding the depth. We're able to exert ourselves maximum because of our depth. And when you have depth and you're able to play in an unselfish way, every sprint counts, because ultimately you got to think of it like a 12-round fight. If you 12 rounds of jabs, eventually a team is going to succumb to something. And that's what we approach it like. And our guys do a great job. They're cheering for each other on the sidelines. The most important thing about this team, we have to remain unselfish. And if we don't remain unselfish, that is the one thing that as a head coach, I probably will continue to work on, because that's the one thing that can probably put us or set us back. And unselfish cuts, unselfish sprints, unselfish with playing time and opportunity. It's going to be a different guy every night, and we just got to be able to solve the matrix and the puzzle of a scout. And that team, Pacific, did a good job of discombobulating our offense and then turning their defense into offense and executing on the other end.
Dennis, I know a lot of times it's a instant gratification. People want to see something immediately, but can you talk about the patience and the leap with Ant and Trent that you've seen from year 1 to year 2?
Well, you see player development, you see guys being a year older, you see maturation and maturity. Those guys went through a lot last year as freshmen. You know, Trent Pierce was injured. You know, he played probably 16 games. Ant Robinson lost his grandmother, somebody that he was very close to, in addition to having a virus, and he lost about 10 pounds. You know, and it disrupted those guys. But I saw their work and response after the season, and then in the summer, and then this fall. These guys did a great job, and what you see is maturation and confidence. Trent Pierce does not look like Trent Pierce last year. You see a confident guy. Ant Robinson, you see him increase his leadership. You see the different things he can do on the ball. We know he's a feisty defender, but he changes the game with what he brings to the table. But it's just growth. Our player development program, strength and conditioning, our trainer, they all do a great job of keeping these guys in a regimen, and these guys have been committed to doing such.
Dennis, what T.O. Barrett, just what did he do to earn that opportunity tonight, and what did you think how he did it?
Well, T.O. Barrett, this is the first game he's been healthy at the end of the day. You know, those little bumps and bruises get the best of you sometimes, and I just didn't want to put him in certain situations. Ultimately, he's one of our better defenders, along with Ant Robinson and Marcus Allen. The ability to guard the ball is very important. His athleticism, you saw a glimpse of that when he went up and blocked the shot. He makes those plays consistently in practice. So he's not doing nothing that his teammates hadn't seen, and what he's doing is continuing to get better. He's continuing to learn our system, and he's going to be important to us as we continue throughout this season.
This is a question for all three of you guys, but you've talked a lot about the depth that you guys have. You guys had 57 bench points tonight, and you went 12 deep off the bench. What's it like playing for you guys on a team with this much depth? And Coach, what's it like managing minutes and workload and getting into a rhythm with this much talent on the team?
You guys can answer first.
I think Coach has one of those good problems. You know, we got you know, a bunch of great players, and you know, trying to figure out, you know, which five goes with, you know, the pieces and stuff like that. So I feel like our depth is just amazing. Past two games really showed that. I feel like the first 2 or 3 games we were, you know, just trying to figure each other out, and now I feel like going into December, I feel like we're catching fire. You know, like we're getting really hot, and we're figuring each other out, our niches. You know, where we want the ball, where we don't want the ball, and you know, I feel like we're just a really good team.
Yeah, I agree with with all he said, but I think one of my favorite parts about playing so deep is you see all the people you've been, like all our teammates that we've been going against each other since June, and then seeing that opportunity of everybody getting their chance to go out there and make an impact on winning. I think as a player, it excites me to see other people that have been working just as hard as everybody else get that same opportunity. And then I think, what they've done to prepare themselves and how they prepared us and how we prepared them, it just shows like the qualities of I think Coach says like maturity a lot, and then you just see them throughout the game. You see their maturity levels go up, and as a older leader, that's probably one of my favorite things to see is like the underclassmen maturing and then getting that opportunity with our deep rotation.
Time for one last question.
Let me finish.